Hello, welcome back to our channel. I'm Gabs, one half of your Slip Slip Sis, vlogging team today. So this weekend, Chay and I are embarking on a 4-day knit along challenge. It's not sponsored or anything. Chay and I are attempting to knit the outline tee by Jessie made in 4 days. So we're going to cast on as soon as Chay gets home from work on Friday night, and then we are going to end hopefully and finish our teas no later than Thursday evening whenever Chay gets home. So it'll be a full 4 days. I'm going to take you along for the ride. And the first thing that I'm trying to decide, and I'm still trying to decide, is what yarn do I want to use. And it's Thursday, so I have one more day where I can try and figure out what I want. So here are my two choices. This Purpinkle by Kimber's Cozy Creations. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend, and it's 463 yards, and I have about a skein and a half, so it's probably enough for the size that I want to make. I think I'm going to make the size 2. So it needs like 600 or 700 yards, so I'm okay for both this. So I've got this purple. I've also been playing around with doing a fade, which this color is from Back Loop Yarn Company. It's Love Potion trial number 1. So I think it's was an experiment skein. And then this one is Peony by Rebel Woolworks. So I would fade these two colors together. They're not the same blend of yarn. This one is an 80-20 and this one's a 75-25. But I'm not fussed with it. So these are full skeins, so I'd have plenty of yarn. So I still haven't decided which of these two do I want to do. I'm leaning towards the pink right now. I posted a story on Instagram, and most people said the purple, but my sister said the pink. And I'm thinking that I want to go with the pink because I'm a drama teacher, and this year we're doing Mean Girls for our musical, so I'd love to have a pink knitted garment for our Wednesday night show, because on Wednesdays we wear pink. So I think I'm gonna go with the pink. Shaylee and I decided that we are allowed to cake up our yarn and swatch before the official knit along starts. I did a little warm up. I don't know why you don't need to warm up knitting, but I did a little bit of a warm up the week prior, where I am knitting the Summer Saunter tee from Samantha Guerin. It's a test knit, and I cast that on last Friday night. It's currently Thursday, so it's taken me 6 days to finish it. And I've got about maybe an inch left on the body, and then I have to do a folded hem. So I've probably got maybe 2.5 inches left of knitting, which I can totally get done tonight because it's only 2 p.m. right now. So I definitely could get that done tonight. So that's 6 days to make a sweater, which I didn't work on it exclusively. I also worked on a hat at the same time. And I also ran out of yarn, so I needed to fade in another color, which was this really pretty black color by Miss Babs. It's called Blackbird, but I got the yarn on a D-stash, and I'm allergic to cats, so I had to wash the yarn. So I lost a night of knitting because I was washing the yarn and waiting for it to dry. Fortunately, it dried in one day because it's quite warm here in San Jose, California. So I'm thinking I'm in the realm of being able to do it in 4 days. I did this cal in 6. Or I did the test knit in 6. So I'm thinking it's possible. So I do need to cake up the yarn. I need to make a decision tonight so I can hopefully beg my husband to help me cake up the yarn. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. Shaylee and I are going to cast on together, and we're of course racing each other. Not only are we trying to get it done in 4 days, we are trying to beat the other one. So it's not even getting it done in 4 days. It's probably trying to get it done in like 3 days, because my sister, I think, is a faster knitter than me. I think she's a touch faster than me at knitting. She also has more, so it's a little bit tricky to see who's got the time advantage. Shaylee has more uninterrupted knitting time because she doesn't have children. So there's that. But Shaylee also works full time, and I'm not working over the summer. So that means come Monday, if Shaylee hasn't finished her sweater, I have the whole day Monday. Well, I have my children, but I can also knit with them sometimes when they nap. So I have the whole day Monday and the whole day Tuesday to sneak in knitting, where when Shaylee's working, she really can't do that. So I think I have to just stay, like, keep pace with my sister throughout the weekend, and then I can pull ahead while she's working, I think. So it's also Father's Day on Sunday, so we're going to San Leandro to see my parents, and I have to make some, I'm in charge of dessert, and I've got to make some food for my husband too. So it's a toss-up to see who's got the true advantage on this. I think we're making the same size sweater. I think that's what we decided. Yeah, I think we're both making the size 2. I decided I was going to make a 1, but then I decided to make the size 2. But my gauge is looser than hers, so I may have to knit less rows for the body. The body calls for 8 inches, but if you've got a looser gauge, right, you don't have to knit as many rows, right? Like if I've got 6 rows per inch and she has 8 rows per inch, right? That's 2 less rows for every inch that I have to knit. So I don't know. We'll see. So this is kind of just the intro, getting ready. And thanks so much for joining us in this journey. I will check back in with you tomorrow, probably tomorrow or tonight, whenever I've gotten this yarn caked up. Is 6:54 p.m. We are an hour and 6 minutes ahead of our 8 p.m. start, but it's just the two of us, so we can start early if we want to. I'm Gabs. This is my sister Chay. I introduced myself earlier in this video, but Chay is joining us for this race. All right, Chay. Do you want to run down what your color is first so you can do your little intro?
I would be pleased to. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, my name is Chay, the other half of Slip Slip Sis. I am joining from Southern California, and I have my yarn set up in my bag here from Cookie and Bees. I don't believe they're selling anymore, but how cute. It's my sloth, Valentine's bag, but my yarn is pink and gray, so I thought it was kind of a vibe. I'll show you both because I have 2 skeins of it. This is it in a skein, and it is a Whimsical Wood Yarn Company on their Pixie Toes soft base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and the color is pretty ass. So that is it, and then I have it caked up and ready to go. It looks like this because I pre-swatched, which was approved by the challenge, rules. So I was allowed to swatch ahead of time. And I actually had to go up a needle size from what the pattern calls for. So it calls for 5s and 4s. I'm using 7s and 6s
with this video, but that's okay. All right, so I am doing a fade because I don't have enough yarn. So I am doing this pink, which is from Back Loop Yarn Company. This is its little label, and it is Love Potion Trial number 1. So I think it was like a one-of-a-kind kind of thing. I got it on sale last October, and then I'm going to fade into this Rebel Woolworks Varigade. Woolworks, that's hard to say, Woolworks. It is... she's no longer dyeing yarn, but it's from her Kickstarter campaign, and this is Peony. So they're going to fade together. It's going to be cute. And this is also Cookie and Bees. And then this one I made myself. And it is in my Erin Lane Bags Alpaca Butts. It's a twofer, so I think that's going to be good for this challenge. I am using US 1s to get gauge for the ribbing, and US 3s for the gauge, which is kind of how it usually goes. I did not swatch. I do not plan to swatch. I'm just going to do it.
You're using ones.
Because we need smaller needles for the ribbing.
I mean, it's only one size in between.
Yeah, that doesn't work when I do it. It ends up I have to drop down a second one. So I'm using US ones. Chay and I are, did we actually say, Chay and I are racing?
I don't know, you did the intro.
I did do an intro. Jiminy's. Chay and I are racing. It's going to be great. I initially previously in this video said that I thought I could pull ahead on Monday. I forgot that it was Juneteenth and my sister has the day off. So yeah, I basically have to pull ahead right now, which is kind of like, we were both runners. Like we played like sports in high school. I ran track, Chay ran cross country, and basically the only hope I ever have of beating my sister is to beat her out of the blocks, because I'm a sprinter, which means I can go, but then around mile 1,
passes out.
So if I can mad dash and pull ahead, it's fine, because Chay just like keeps going. Yeah, so she I don't know, I think she ran the 800 when you ran cross country, right?
They call it.
I don't know, I ran track, dude.
It's just 3 miles.
So see, and I ran a 4x1 relay. So it's like 100 yards. Like I ran a 100-yard dash and I triple jumped. So I don't have to like hold it together for longer than a minute.
I think I need to like put all of my other whips away, because it's going to stress me out to have them all looking at me while I'm working on this. I think that's something I need to do to like focus.
Actually, this is my only whip other than that one sock cuff that I cast on while I was waiting for you to be done with your hike. So I have no whips. I actually have no deadlines, like test knits done.
I saw my whips.
I know, summer break, man.
Here's a cover photo.
I don't know how to do screenshots. That's too hard for me. All right.
Hopefully, the cover photo will be us with our tees, because we've completed the challenge.
All right. Are you ready, Chay? Because then I have to go put my kids in the bath.
How do you usually measure your like long bit?
So in my head, this is what I thought. I did this. I said, well, this length, when I go from my hand to my nose, is enough for me to cast on 56 stitches for socks. Oh, so then I went 56, 112.
I guess it doesn't matter if I have extra, right? Because I have plenty of yarn.
Yeah.
This feels like enough for 200. I think so.
All right, you ready?
Oh, was I not supposed to make a slip knot?
I did already. I've been waiting.
Oh, see? So let me put it on the needle. I can't talk to you, though, when I cast it on. So it's just like...
Do you count every stitch? Do you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, I just go. And then count when I think I'm close. Also, I should share this, that Chay and I have timed ourselves before in knitting, and I think Chay can knit 57 stitches, knit stitch in the round per minute, and I can knit.
I'm racing.
If she at peak performance.
At like this is me trying to sprint finish,
and I can knit 54 stitches per inch, so I'm 3 stitches behind her. But I shared this earlier in the video too, that I think what's going to save me is my row gauge is bigger than Chaylee's. So I may have to knit less rows. It's also my child banging at the door. If you hear that, yeah, that's the child trying to break in. So we have to cast on, and then I'm going to immediately have to stop knitting to help her to bathe the children. All right, you ready, Chay?
Wait, okay. It's just regular, right? You read that?
No, I didn't read it, dude. I'm relying on you.
Oh, just use preferred cast on. It says loosely, Gabs.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. Okay. Ready?
Wait. Who's counting?
I don't know. You can.
Is it 3, 2, 1, shoot? Or 3, 2, 1, go? You know what I mean?
I was just going to go when you said go. I'm a stage manager. I don't go until you say go.
How many you got?
I don't know. I don't count, man. How many you got?
44.
I don't know. Oh no, I'm casting on tight now because I'm racing.
Okay. I just got to 100.
I have no idea, dude. None idea at all.
I don't think I have made myself enough of a tail.
Oh no! You could punt and make size 1. How many lengths from finger to nose did you do?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think I can get 70 more out of this little tail here.
Oh, I don't know. Do you want me to stop and count? You should stop then if you don't think you can.
Because I'm at 136 and I need to get 100 more. It's not going to happen. Restart! False start! That was close. Oh, now you're counting. Now you don't want to talk to me. Wow, how the turns have tabled. And I've made it on. This is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of floppy.
Getting it started is going to be a challenge. Okay, I'm tired of this challenge already, Chay.
It's like that thing from Holes where she's like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
Dude, look, I did it. I did it. I did it. This is how much I had left. Look at my estimation skills. I think. Now I have to count again. But now I have to go help the children get ready for the bath. So
Okay.
It's not going good for me. So this is humongous. But it'll be okay. I gotta run because it's about Daniel opened the door. The shower's on. It's hectic. I gotta go. We will check in with you later. Good morning. It is 9:29 and I have not yet started to knit today. So I got pretty far. Chay and I are basically in the exact same place in our project. I just switched to the larger needles. So I did all the ribbing last night and I did the setup round for the drop stitches. So I did all of that, and the body is for my size is 7.75 inches. So I need to fade at some point my other color in. So I think I'm going to knit to 6 inches from the cast on edge and then fade in the next pink, I think is the plan. Chay says her goal is to try and finish the body today, which means in order to keep pace, I need to also finish the body today. She's at a hair appointment right now. I finished all the chores for the day already at the house. I got the dishes started, laundry, all of that. So we're in a good place, but I have swim lessons with the girls at 11. So, and I'm in the pool because it's like parent taught with Eleanor. This one's wearing a helmet because she likes to climb while I try and do the dishes. So protective headgear. And I want to encourage her climbing, right? And like exploring the world, but I also don't need to land up in the emergency room because she gives herself a concussion. So she's wearing her helmet, and now she really likes it. So hopefully Chay didn't get any knitting done at her hair appointment, and I can knit from now until we have to leave in about an hour. And then Chay is meeting my in-laws for a birthday lunch situation, so she doesn't usually knit that much there. So hopefully I can also knit and like pull ahead of my sister. I think if I can get to the fade by hopefully this afternoon, I'm in a good place. Tomorrow is Father's Day. It's also Chay's birthday, so she has no plans. So she can pull ahead then too. So, it's dicey. So we will see how it goes. I'll check in with you soon. today, June 18th, which is my sister's birthday, and we are on day 3 of our 4-day knit along challenge. I'm getting ready to go running. That's what's happening right now. And Chay and I are both on the left side of the top, so we're knitting flat. Chay is at the shoulder shaping, and I am just halfway through the neckline decreases. So the goal today is to get through the front, both sides of the front, left and right, and at least halfway through the back, because knitting flat is tedious for me. I don't know why. It's probably the purling, but I don't even purl. I knit backwards or reverse knit, so I knit across, and then instead of turning my work, I just knit back the other way because I'm left-handed. So I'll try and catch a video of me doing it. So I just put the yarn, I knit continental, I just put the yarn in my other hand and go across. So I don't have to turn my work. Chay purls, so she flips back and forth, but it's kind of tedious. I don't know why I find it more tedious than stockinette, but I do. So I am going to try and put this other shoe on and go for a run, and then hopefully get some knitting done this early morning. We've got some errands to run. It's Father's Day. I'm making dessert for the barbecue at my parents' house this afternoon. My older daughter has ballet class, so we still got some stuff to do, and then we'll either go out to dinner for my husband, or maybe I will whip up his favorite food, which I think I actually can make in an afternoon. It's mochiko chicken, which is like a Hawaiian Japanese fusion dish, which is basically like teriyaki fried chicken. So I might do that. We'll see. But I'm off to do a quick run and then back to hopefully make the dessert. And then we are hopefully getting a lot of knitting done today. See you soon. Hello, it is just past 7 on day 3. Chay and I were trying to see if we could finish it in under 48 hours, and it's just not a thing. I am in the knitting flat portion of the back, and I'm like 3 inches away from starting the short rows. So I'm here on the back. I've knit the entire front. I did these drop stitches, which are part of the pattern, and I have to tell you, it is terrifying to do the stitches, because they're in the right place, and you got to trust the pattern, but you're just dropping them all the way down to hopefully land in the right spot so your yarn doesn't unravel and it stops at the ribbing like it's supposed to. It's a really ingenious way that she does it, so you don't lose your yarn and the whole thing doesn't come apart, but it's pretty terrifying. I've done it now for both of the front sides, and then I haven't done it for... Okay, dear. So I'm doing it right here. You're kind of just supposed to give it a little tug, and then it undoes, and it creates the outline of the outline tee. So it kind of terrifies me. So I haven't done it for this side yet, but I'm going to use it as like a little treat for finishing the back, because it's a lot of knitting flat for a very long time without anything interesting to do, because I finished fading. I'm just knitting flat. I spent the majority of today knitting flat. So Chay has pulled ahead. She stayed up till like 10:45 last night, so she stayed up about an hour past when I stayed up. So she pulled ahead, and she's pulling even farther ahead because things keep popping up today, which is fine. But I think she's going to be done tonight. So I think she's going to do it in like 52 hours. I think reasonably I can do it in 72. I think I can be done with it by this time tomorrow night. So that's the goal. My goal is truly to finish the knitting flat, and then hopefully do the short rows, hopefully graft it together so that all I have tomorrow is the sleeves. So fingers crossed, that's all I have to do. Good morning. It is day 3 of our 4-day challenge. Chay finished her tea last night. So she finished it in 50 hours and 46 minutes. I'm currently approaching 60 hours because I obviously did not work on it over the night and like slept. So I have like 15 more knit rows. I have to do a bind off and then I have to pick up the sleeves and then I'm done. So I estimate maybe about another 2 hours worth of work on the tea and then I'm done. So well within the 4 days because today's day 3. So I'm hoping to be done by like 5 or 6 tonight so I can call it that I finished it under 72 hours. So I'm gonna go on a run and then we will see how it goes. It's a It is just before 7:02. Somehow my hair looks crazy pants. It is just before 7:02 on day 3, and I have finished my outline tee. It is mostly finished, or I mean, finished to the same place my sister was when I think she said she was finished. So we're calling it finished. I have the ends to weave in, and I just tried it on, and the neckline feels a little bit loose to me. So I am going to crochet a slip stitch border on it to kind of like tighten it up, which was a recommendation in the pattern. The pattern did say to like knit and then bind off, which I think is going to create the same thing as a crocheted slip stitch. I think it'll just be a little bit easier. So I'm going to kind of tighten up the neckline, block it, weave in some ends, and then call it good.